Our next presenter is Professor Chuang-Wen. Professor Yu is an associate professor in our Graduate Institute of Art and Technology. And Professor Yu's research interests are in human-computer interaction and ubiquitous computing with a focus on mobile and wearable healthcare systems, mobile sensing platforms, innovative IoT applications, and emerging virtual reality technology. Professor Liu received his PhD degree from the Computer Science Department of National Taiwan University. He also received multiple Best Paper awards, including MobiCase, GreenCom, and Ubicon. So we are happy to have Professor Liu to share his research on clinic-friendly drug psychotherapy. So let's give a round of applause for Professor Liu for his talk. Professor Liu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks for Professor Shi's introduction. And today I'm going to talk about one research that I have conducted in past years. And this is an ongoing project that is we are exploring about using technology to facilitate the perception of craving and corresponding cues for achieving clinical friendly drug psychotherapy. And I'm an associate professor in Graduate Institute of Art and Technology. And first, I want to introduce myself. I joined NTHU in 2020, and in the Graduate Institute of Art and Technology. And this institute is about to teach a student to discover some ways to create the art through digital technology. That is just, for example, virtual technology or some interactive technology. And there are two courses, such as virtual arts and biotech art. And you can, if you are interested in our institute, you can check out through this website. And my research focus is in human-computer interaction. And this is a field that requires interdisciplinary collaboration. That is technology, or you need to understand some theory to predict humans' behavior. And also you need some expert to deal with the user experience part, that is design, and also you need to introduce some artistic elements. And my research areas are including emerging AR/VR apps, mobile and wearable systems for behavior change. Also understanding people through some qualitative research techniques. This is the more details about my research focus. First, I would select a group of people and use some qualitative approaches to understand the difficulties and opportunities of applying those supporting technology. That is, we use some qualitative techniques to understand people. And second part of my research focus is to design or create some sensing techniques for behavioral monitoring. That is, we invent some affordable sensing solutions to monitor everyday behavior. The third part is to create some persuasive design to promote behavior modifications. That is, we design some support system based on the sensing technique we invented, and conduct field study to verify the feasibility of the design system. And so I built some high impact system that incorporate these different disciplinary. That is, for example, I collaborate with some medical experts, also some psychologists, to build these applications. And let me go to some of my overview of my research. That is, we track human behavior by observing what users do. Because we can only observe what the user did instead of what the user thinks. So we use the sensor to detect the way a person acts or behaves. And in daily lives, we all have some good or problem behavior. For example, you have some daily activity about driving, eating, exercising, and so on and so on. But some behaviors are illegal or could create some problem for your life. For example, you use drunk driving or texting while driving. And these problem behavior are persistent and the impact are long-lasting. That is, there is a recurrent and chronic nature for these types of problem behaviors that makes promoting health and well-being difficult. For example, those users, they might, with these problem behaviors, they might be lack of awareness. They have no information to raise their awareness, and they even unaware or overlook the risks. And they might cheat, to lie. They don't want to reveal that they did this behavior. And the most importantly, that they are lacking of intention or motivations. They are easy to return to dangerous behavior. And these types of behaviors could conducted anytime, anywhere, and everywhere. So we observe this characteristics of those problem behaviors. We are thinking, could we use technology to assist people to change their bad behavior and to promote their life, to live healthy and safe. So we observe some opportunities from the technology part. That is, we have technology could provide the continuous, accurate behavior sensing and tracking. For example, we have some mobile phone, wearable device, and these types of devices could provide proper feedback. For example, through projecting on your watch, and so on and so on. And also, you could customize the feedback to provide some incentive so that you could sustain their motivation and help them maintain in good behaviors. So I use, based on this concept, I built some persuasive systems that helps patients to stay away from alcohol and drug. First, the sober diary system, we build a mobile system that includes a portable breathalyzer, and which is wirelessly connect with your phone, so that the patient could record their drinking behavior to raise their awareness of their drinking behavior, and then to motivate them to stay sober. And the second is we build also a mobile system with a saliva screening tool that the individual with drug dependent could use this system in their daily life to detect the drug use behavior and also raise their awareness about drug use. But things are not perfect. We also observe some difficulties to understand the health and well-being status. That is, even with today's technology, it is hard to well quantify the recovery status. For example, the emotions, like the Professor Lee said, and or some feelings. It's hard to use sensors to understand this recovery status. So we are thinking, could we leverage the member in your social network to promote or to help you or to bring in some in-time intervention? So we are thinking to share the data logged by the patient themselves to introduce these good features, such as we can foster their empathy and encourage them, or introduce suggestions or reminders, or implement some early intervention. So we build other systems. First, we extend the sober diary to incorporate family support, and we build sober account. And also we use VR and biofeedback technology in psychotherapy to assist therapists to communicate with the patients. Also, we build a dry probe, incorporate the observations from intimate others, that is their partners, to help them prevent them to work overload. And also we build a tech-like probe system. We incorporate some wearable and also the phone sensors and also we incorporate parental support. We share this information to their parents so that the parents can help their children to reduce their mobile smartphone usage. And today I will focus on one system, that is we use VR and biofeedback to assist drug psychotherapy in their treatment to communicate with patients. And I'm going to introduce a result that we published in last year's ACM CSCW conference. That is, we use the VR and biofeedback to facilitate the perception of craving and corresponding cue. In this research, we did not build a final implementation. We just use some technology to probe the opinions from therapists. That is, we conduct qualitative research to understand how we could use technology to achieve these things. we know drug addiction is a serious social problem. It's includes some chronic condition and would cause some impulsive drug use. And usually for patients, they would relapse after treatment, complete treatment, about half of them. So once they complete treatment, they would return to their daily life, and they will they would get used to some ways to deal with their daily life issues, and might trigger their drug use behavior, and finally they would relapse. So one way to improve this problem is to let people join in the drug psychotherapy, and therapists would provide some counseling sessions to help them to discover some cues or develop or implement some coping skills once they identify the cues. And they base on a model that is relapse prevention models. This model talks about because in daily life people would encounter some triggers, or you can call it cues. For example, you would see some lighter. For example, they would use the drug with the lighter. They would burn the methamphetamine drug. And if they see the lighter, it would trigger them to use drug. So in daily life, there are some triggers. And this trigger would induce some physical response. For example, their heartbeat would increase, or they were feeling hot, their temperature will increase, and so on and so on. So for this physical response, the therapist would discuss then how, once they observe this response, how you could use some ways to deal with this response. That is we call it coping skill. They would process or understand this response, and then they can implement a coping skill. So if they can better aware this trigger, or perceive their physical response, then they can implement some coping skill to remove the following or the potential drug use. And currently or traditionally, we have some cue exposure therapy to they would expose the drug-related stimuli and to try to induce your craving, and then the therapist would discuss with you about this craving or how this cue would affect you. And they might use virtual reality technology to expose the cues or customize for individual need. And because it's displayed by the VR technology, it would provide some vivid visual reconstruction of your life experience. However, existing solutions, they did not carefully design how to, this is typo. They did not discuss how to design the clinical friendly VR cues. That is, they focus on the detection part, That is, they induce or they introduce some intensive triggers, but that might not suitable for the treatment, because once you induce the strong craving, they might use the drug after the treatment. That would be not good. And for physical response, we have the biofeedback technology to help therapists to observe patients' physical response. And once you have some evidence of the data, then you can discuss with patient about the inner working of these cues and corresponding response. And also the data could help to pinpoint some meaningful point about the occurrence of the drug craving. But current usage of the biofeedback technology, they focus on the meditation or relaxation part, but did not use this technology to help patients to raise their awareness of cravings or the cues. So we think that there is some opportunity in applying this technology with the VR. Also, for how to, once you observe the cue or physical response, how you communicate with patient to help them understand how to implement the following like intervention. It requires some good communication between patients and therapists. So based on existing problems, so we explored some ways to introduce the VR and biofeedback technology to help therapists to discuss with the patient about the cues and cravings. And we use this model to organize the findings we identified. This model is to discuss the self-awareness and try to identify the communication barriers between them. And this Johari window model is, they break down the awareness dimension into 4 parts. That is, there is some cases that the situations are known to the patient or not known to the patient. And also some cases that are known to the therapist or not known to the therapist. And you can divide the possible cases in 4 groups. And for both parties, like they are known this case, it means this space is open space. That is, we all know about these cases. But for the rest of 3, not known to patient but known to therapist, it's blind, because therapists did not know these cases, but it actually the patients know. So we can break down this awareness space into 4 quadrants. And the purpose of psychotherapy is to push the boundary of the open space, try to enlarge the open space so that the therapist could be better communicate with patients. So, but how to enlarge this open space? We are thinking using VR and biofeedback technology. So we propose the following research question. First is, what types of craving and cues do people with drug addiction experience in daily life? And also the difficulties about patient and therapist, they encountered when seeking insight into cravings and cues during the treatment. The third is their communication problem, how this technology would facilitate their communication. So we conduct a technology probe study. That is, we use some technology, but it's not the final system. We just use some exemplar implementation to help them to imagine how this technology would be used in the future. We use the HTC Cosmos Elite to expose Q, and we also use some biofeedback technology to observe their heart rate. That is a potential reaction of cravings. And for the VR technology, we visualize two scenes. One is outdoor nature scenes, that is open space and in a relaxing feeling. And the other is indoor scenes, that is a living room space. And for each patient, they would first see these scenes, and then they would, during they receive the interview, and they will watch the VR videos. Oh, sorry. And also they will, during the video watching, they will wear the wristband device to record their heartbeat data. And we will use a mobile phone to record this data. And note that this implementation is not the final one. This is just for the purpose to help them to imagine how this two technology would be in the future. And we actually recruited 15 patients with methamphetamine addiction, and also 4 therapists. Oh, sorry. And for those patients, they have been diagnosed with methamphetamine addiction, but they complete the withdrawal treatment and currently in the maintenance program. And the procedure is we first conducted a pre-study to collect some ratings toward these questionnaires to understand the severity of their drug use, also their craving levels before the experiment. Also, we conduct a pre-study interview to understand their previous experience about drug using, and also if they use any methods to address cues or cravings. And then we will have 20 minutes technology probe. We use the VR video scenes we just mentioned, and also during they were watching this video, we also collect their heart rate data with the Fitbit or wristband device. And after they watch the video, we will then have a show work outside of the interview room, and then pull out the data and show the data to them to ask if they are aware of any significant change of their data and why in the following post-study interview. And for this post-study interview, we will ask how they think about the technology and how they would imagine this technology would be applied in the future. Also, we will ask about how they receive the psychotherapy, how psychotherapy would interact with patients. Both parties, we have different interview questions. After completing the interview, we reimburse them with some monetary incentive, and we remind patients if they feel not fine after they went home, they can seek medical help if needed. And we transcribe all the interview recordings, and then we conducted some qualitative coding techniques to identify the salient things. And due to the time limit, I only talk about the results about how the potential to use this technology to promote communication. I remember the Johari window model. We will talk about the potential of use this technology to reduce these three spaces. That is to enlarge the open space. For the first part, traditionally the therapist would use some feedback or confrontation method to reduce the blind space. Also, they will use some rely on the patient self-discovery to reduce the hidden space. Also, would incorporate the therapist's observation or self-discovery of patients to reduce unknown. And for the interview result, we observed many patients seek the advice from therapists in order to open up the blind space. A therapist was concerned about some defense mechanism. From this quote, actually they feel uncertain. They have no idea of what a craving was. And if you use the biofeedback, we can use the data to figure out the issue. So it's like you can use the data to implement some confrontation or feedback ways to interact with patients, and therefore reduce the blind space. Also, the second one is the hidden space. From this quote, usually it's not trust, patient didn't trust the therapist. So with this data, they can, the therapist could use this data to help or to persuade patients to disclose, expose or their feelings. So this is the hidden space. The final is the unknown space. So traditionally, therapists rely on the self-discovery of patients or its observation. So with this data, because they immerse in the virtual space, the patient would be their memory would be recollected through this video watching. Then they can speak more to the therapist. And also with the biofeedback data, therapists can use this data to help patients to be more aware of their condition. So it's use the VR and data reviewing to reduce this space. So that's all for the potential opportunities for VR. And final discussion, I will quickly go through the discussion. And because traditionally the Q exposure therapy is to induce the large Q, but for this potential technology we imagine, it's not about the intensity of the Q. It's about how this technology would help therapists to raise their mind-body awareness of the patient. And there is some benefit. I will skip this benefit. And also, the patient, they express some concerns about the induced Q. They might not able to handle that. So you need to check the background of the patient, how is their recovery status, to customize the scene and avoid to use the intensive craving, induce their intensive craving. And the third part is you can use some log to introduce into the treatment, help the therapist to select the scenes. Also build some easy to use tool to help therapists to check check with the data and then interact with the patient. So yeah, I will skip this part. And the final conclusion is this study, we use a technology Prof study to identify the opportunity to use this technology in psychotherapy so that they can better communicate with each other. And the result shows some difficulty in identifying the cue and craving. And also we explore some opportunities to reduce those blind, hidden or unknown space. And this combined VR and biofeedback could have some benefit on correction patients' irrational belief, enhance the therapist's awareness, and extract unconscious link between cues and cravings. So that's all of today's talk. If there is any question, please let me know. Okay. I'll go ahead.
Very interesting talk. Can I ask a question?
Okay.
For the VR using as a probe and also collecting the heart rate at the same time, I wonder whether you guys have checked at which point during that VR experiences the heart rate has increases. Does that correspond to a particular scene, or wondering is there a certain point within that VR experiences the heart rate shows a difference?
Okay. Yeah, in this study, we didn't have that data, but actually we are currently conducting another study. We actually implement this system and we have recruited some patients. We did observe some, if you introduce some scenes or some visual elements, the heart rate data would go up or go down. Yeah, actually, for example, we have some song, or the scenes might contain some the screenshot of your mobile phone to simulate you receive the message, and once we observe that the patient, once the message is shown, the data change drastically. Yeah, actually, it's highly correlated. Yeah.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Today we have Professor Lee and Professor Yu. Please give them a big hand.